our learning objectives for this afternoon's session. So for the first one, at the end of this session, you should be able to identify the different family genogram symbols, write a plan on how to make family members firmer and gentler, and lastly, value one's family ancestry. And the question is, my part of learners, are you ready for this afternoon? If you are ready, make it sure that you bring with you your pack kit that consists of your pen and paper. Your module, of course, we would like to thank Calabarzon or Region 4A or yung mas kilala po sa tawag na Pivot for allowing us to use their modules for this session. And of course, nasa Module 24 and Module 25 na tayo of this quarter. So of course, girls, flex it out your beautiful smile with a hint of your favorite lip tint, and boys, your nice hairstyle with your cool hair wax. And do not forget to bring with you your heart, because Aristotle said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. As we begin, let's have first discuss the topic, making a family genogram. Once again, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ma'am Marie Chris, good afternoon from Aliaga National High School. And of course, meron din kadala Cruz si Ma'am Marie Chris, si Ma'am Gladys Cruz. Good afternoon, Ma'am Gladys from Vicente National High School, if I'm not mistaken. Okay po. Maraming salamat po. And of course, let us invite our students, let us mention them, our friends and our fellow teachers to join us for this sessions or this afternoon's tutorial. So we have right here my part of learners, this is what we call family tree. And I believe that you are already familiar with this. But then this afternoon, we will be talking about family genogram. But then these two, we both them use as to give illustration about our family. But then particularly a genogram at your right is structurally similar to a family tree, but they serve a very different purpose. A genogram includes information about relationships and interactions between family members, while family tree only depicts lineage. But then, my part of learners, tracing our family history may not only give us ideas of who are the prominent individuals that belong to our family tree, but most significantly, it will help us grow better, right? So the question is, kilala niyo pa ba ang inyong mga kamag-anakan? Most especially nowadays na kung saan ang hirap ng makapag-gather physically, and I believe that would only be the chance para mas makilala natin ng higit ang ating mga kapamilya, right? Lalo na ngayon, minsan hindi na natin kilala, nakakasalubong na pala natin sa palengke, nakakasalubong na pala natin sa eskwelahan, kamag-anak pala natin siya, right? So, tracing our family history is very much important. You will not only learn your family tree, or you will not learn about your family, but then at the same time, it will also help you to grow better. But then you know what? This afternoon, as we talk about family genogram, it can actually tell you about your family members if who is married, widowed, divorced, and the like. So for the learners to further understand about this what we call family genogram, let us look first at its definition. So we define family genogram as a graphic display of a family tree that conveys the detailed information of related individuals. Genograms have significant pieces of information on the families represented. So like any other graphic organizer, family genogram makes it easier for a person to present and comprehend certain information. And primarily, as we analyze or as we a certain family genogram, unlike family tree that only shows the lineage of your family or it only presents your family ancestry, in family genogram, it represents or it shows you the name, gender, date of birth, and date of death of your family members. And at the same time, in family genogram, it also shows you the education, the occupation, the major life events, even the chronic illnesses, which talks about the medical information about your family members. Yes, the social behaviors and even the nature of family relationships, just like emotional and social relationships. Plus, it also shows the hereditary patterns and psychological factors of your family members. So imagine family genogram is more detailed. It consists of different information about your family, and those information will help you to share with other people how your family members are connected with one another. And to begin with our genogram or family genogram, you will need to follow, or you will need to determine or identify, right, the different family symbols. Okay. So, what are those family genogram symbols that we are talking about? So, let's begin my part of learners with this what we call the basic genogram symbols. So we have the square for the male symbol, circle for female symbol, and then we also have this what we call triangle for pregnancy. And if there is a gay in your family members, we have this symbol wherein there is a circle and in it is an inverted triangle. What about the lesbian symbol? So we have the square in it, right, is the what do you call this? The triangle and inverted triangle rather for lesbian. So basically, these are just the genogram symbols that we oftentimes use when we are making family genograms. So you just have to be acquainted or familiar with these basic symbols that we are talking about. So what else do we have? We also have this what we call family relationship symbols. So if you can see, we have right here the triangle, the square, and the square, and then the circle. Wherein the square represents for male symbol, and the circle for female symbols. So you can see right here the symbols for marriage, okay, for engagement. Of course, we also have this what we call separation. In fact, so there is a line, no, diagonal line na nakahilig at your left if it is separation in fact, but if we are talking about legal separation, another diagonal line to your right. And of course, meron din tayong symbols for divorce. Okay, if a certain couple is already divorced, we will use two diagonal lines. We also have symbols for engagement and separation. Okay, we also have widowed, and then engagement and cohabitation. What do we mean by cohabitation? We refer to live-in partners. They are engaged and they are living together under one roof. We also have symbol for cohabitation. They are just living under one roof, but they are not engaged yet. And we also have this what we call legal cohabitation. And we also have love affair symbol. So see, it is more detailed, it is more specific, and once again, we are talking about family relationships. And always take note, may part of learners, ang ating square symbol ay laging nakalagay at your left. Okay? At yung ating, which symbolizes for male. And at ating circle symbol, which symbolizes for female, ay laging nakalagay sa right side. Okay, so let's proceed with other family genogram symbols. So we have here the children and birth symbols. So if you can see right here, we have here biological child. So if it's square, therefore, ibig sabihin, the biological child is a boy. Pero kung ito ay circle, therefore, it is a girl. We also have this what we call genogram symbol for an adopted child. Okay? At hindi lang adopted child, meron din tayong for foster child. So what do we mean by adopted and foster child? Pag sinabi nating adopted, you legally adopt someone else's child. Okay? Pag sinabi natin foster, you are just entitled, or you are just giving parental care to that particular child, but legally, you do not adopt him or her. Okay. We also have this what we call pregnancy. Okay, so if the mother is still conceiving a child, so ginagamit natin ang symbol na ito for pregnancy. What about for miscarriage? Okay, so ayan, meron tayong triangle and then meron tayong cross. Okay, or X at the center. What about abortion? Okay, so we have this triangle and then an X at the center and then isang horizontal line. And we also have symbols for male stillbirth and female stillbirth. So what do we mean by that? Anong kaibahan ng miscarriage, abortion, and stillbirth? So we all know pag miscarriage, so nakunan si mommy, right? But then abortion, okay, lag. But then male stillbirth or female stillbirth or stillbirth, we mean that what does it mean? So it means that during the delivery, no, the mother lost her child, right, during the delivery. And of course, kung meron tayong symbols for children and birth, we also have this what we call death symbol. So if you can analyze, no, ginagamit natin at your left itong symbol na ito if death comes at unknown age. Okay, so we will just simply make a cross, okay, at the center of the circle or of the square. But then if there is specific information about the death of the family member, makikita natin dito yung kauna-unahan, the lifespan, which refers to 1920 to 2000. And you may also put age at the center of the circle or of the square. Ibig sabihin, ito yung edad kung kailan namatay yung isang family member natin. And at the same time, you may also include the cause of his death or her death. At malalaman natin mamaya kung ano nga ba yung mga family genogram symbols natin for medical symbols. Or medical symbols. Meron din tayo nen? Yes, of course, meron din tayo. But then, may part of learners, batiin muna natin yung mga kasama natin ngayon. Binabati natin si Lovely May Reyes ng 11 TVLHE, from Aliaga National High School, si Kylie Zal Eugenio ng 11 UM6, and si Lorraine Bayan ng 11 UM6, si Aliza Abogado ng 11 UM6, and of course, si Mark Jason Evangelista ng Aliaga National High School. Good afternoon, my herd of learners! Of course. So now, for the next figure, let us have the relationships genogram symbols. So makikita natin dyan, di ba? We may also indicate the symbols for hate. What else? Distrust, violence, emotional abuse, manipulative, in love. Wow, ganyan pala ang family genogram symbols ng in love, no? Best friends, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and controlling. So imagine, my herd of learners, we are very much detailed when we are talking about family genogram symbols. And here it is. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina ng mga medical genogram symbols that we may include in our family genogram. So we have here the heart disease. So if you can see, we have here a little square inside a square na may kulay na red if we have, or if we are referring to heart disease. At breast cancer naman, at the right corner or at the right side of a circle. And of course, diabetes, tayong Alzheimer disease, meron din tayong Down syndrome, depression, smoking, and substance abuse. So with that, my herd of learners, we can indicate these symbols in our family genogram that will show us the other information specifically about our family members. And with that, it could actually help us to understand and be fully aware of what is our family all about, most especially if we are talking about what they call this medically, di ba? Lalo na may mga pamilya talaga na parang hereditary, di ba? May mga sakit silang namamana, kaya we believe na pwede natin itong i-break dahil these are chains na paaaring namamana natin from our ancestors, right? So we really have to become more acquainted and familiar with these symbols para mas makilala natin mga kapamilya. And of course, watching with us is Ma'am Michelle Liwag. Hello, Ma'am Michelle. And of course, si Kuya RJ Corpus. Hello, Kuya RJ. At mga estudyante natin na sina Mariah Kaging ng San Ricardo National High School, si Aliza Abogado, si Jamaica Bautista, si Jamie Padilla ng ating amazing cutie at si Shirley Reyes ng Aliaga National High School. So now, we are already acquainted with the family's genogram symbols. The question is how to make a family genogram. So this is very simple, may per of learners. So we just have to follow 5 simple steps for us to come up with a family genogram. So the first one, you should know your reason for making a genogram to help you determine the type of family information you want to indicate. So what is the reason you have? Why do you want a family genogram? And I believe that if you will be asked this question, the very basic question or the very basic answer that we could have is to better know our family members, right? And I believe that is very important because as a member of our family, it's important to know deeper our family members because our blood or the blood that we have that runs in us, represents our family, represents our ancestry. So the first thing, you have to know your reason as you make a family genogram. So secondly, name all the members of your family kinship that you wanted to include in your genogram. So you can write all of the name of the family members that you want to be part of your family genogram. So they might be your immediate family, of course, your father, your parents, your siblings, and you also have your extended family, just like your cousins, your uncles and aunties, and your grandparents. Then thirdly, organize questions to gather facts and figures about your relatives to be included in the genogram. So what are the certain things that you want to know about your family? You may write them in form of questions. But then, of course, make it sure that you are able to outline or organize your questions. Then, write down notes on how everyone in your family is connected. So by writing down notes, meaning you may interview your family members, most especially the elder ones, right? Because they could give you better answers dahil sila yung mas matatatanda, mas kilala nila yung bawat membro ng pamilya. And then, you may also solicit information starting with the oldest generation down the line. And you are very much blessed if your grandparents, right, are still alive, right? You may also ask them about the information that you believe will help you to form or to write a family genogram. So with that, my part of learners, I am hoping that you would be able to come up with a very effective family genogram that will show us about your family members. So I believe that you are all proud about your family lineage. You are very much proud about your family ancestry. So why not make a family genogram for you to better know them, for you to deeper know each family member. So with that, my of learners, we are done about making family genogram. So let's now proceed with another lesson, which is about how to make the family members firmer and gentler. So we are able to identify if who are the members of our family, particularly sa tinatawag nating clan. So now let's talk about how to make the family members firmer and gentler. So my part of learners, one type of interpersonal relationship that we have just talked about, diba? Or we talked about previously, right? Is this what we call family relationship? And the thing is, what do we mean by family? So basically, when we say family relationships, these are the basic relationships that people have in life since birth, especially of children born in a biological family. And we believe that these relationships play a vital role in shaping and developing an individual's well-being throughout his or her life. So, you know what? Our family might be different from one another because some family or some families have a mom, dad, and a child, but other families include a step or pwedeng have siblings, grandparents, aunts, or uncles, or close family friends. Whichever way we may look at it, may per the Florders, every family wants to have a strong and positive members. That is why this afternoon we are going to talk about how to make our family members firmer and gentler. And this goal could be achieved if we fully understand, no, our roles that we should significantly play inside our family. So, I believe may Perd of learners na bawat isang miyembro sa ating pamilya ay mayroong ginagampanan role. For us to take care of this what we call family relationships, we should fulfill those roles and those responsibilities that we are talking about. But then, before we proceed that, let us have first identify the types of family relationship. So initially, we have this what we call couple relationship, which refers to the intimate connection between partners as husbands and wife, or two people living together to the bond of marriage or cohabitation, or this what we call live-in partner. So that is the first type of family relationship. Of course, walang mga anak kung walang magulang. Of course, and we call that as husband and wife, and technically we call it couple relationship. The second type of family relationship is the parent-child relationship, which is the connection between parents to the child and children, either biological or adopted. Now, the question is, how is your relationship with your parents? Okay. Kamusta ang inyong mga relasyon sa inyong mga magulang, may PERDEV learners? What about to our parents who are with us right now? How is your relationship with your child or with your children? Mm-hmm. Third one is the sibling relationship. Nako. And when we say sibling relationship, this is the connection between or among the brothers or sisters in the family. And of course, pag sinabi nating magkakapatid, hindi mawawala dito ang pag-aawayan. Minsan, hindi pa mawawala ang sabunutan, suntukan. And one time, sabi nilang ganun, meron ako narinig na natural lang daw yon sa magkakapatid na nag-aaway dahil pag daw walang away, hindi daw masaya. Totoo ba yun? May heard of learners? And the fourth type of family relationship is the extended family relationship, which refers to the connection between the nuclear family with other members of the family. So last time, di ba, pinag-usapan natin yung extended family. So these are our connections and our relationships with the other members of our family, like our aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and other relatives. So may part of learners four types of family relationship: the couple, the parent-child, the sibling, and the extended family relationships. But then you know what? A family, though it comes from one root and made up of people from the same gene pool, can turn out to have differences. Tama? Di ba lagi natin yung naririnig sa ating mga magulang? Though, isa lang ang ating pinaglabasan, pag nung nakalabas na, ano nangyari? Tayo ay magkakaiba pa din. Magkakaiba ang ating personality. We have different perspectives. We have different behaviors. We have different outlook on life. And what do we mean by that? Family members can be hot-tempered, right? Meron naman calm lang. Meron naman easygoing. Meron din planner, athletic, bookworm, and the like. But then, per the foreigners, this family of these people of the same roots and genes with different traits and characteristics live together under one roof. And how do you think life will be in this household? So, di ba, though you you live with your siblings and you come from the same roots or from the same gene pool, magkakaiba pa din tayo ng hilig, magkakaiba pa din tayo ng behavior, magkakaiba pa din tayo ng interest. And just imagine people with the same gene pool with differences that manifest in their personalities and behavior live under one roof. How can we achieve this, what we call making our family members firmer and gentler? Kung magsasama ay isang hot-tempered at isang calm or easygoer. So with that, my Perd of learners, let's have a plan to make the family members firmer and gentler. And on your screen, flex out natin, no? Ang Lugod and Pineda family. Hello po. No? At maraming salamat for allowing me to have your family picture during our tutorial session this afternoon. So we have 6 practical steps on how we could make our family members firmer and gentler. And the first one is this, what we call spend quality time. And this is very much important, my Perd of learners. We become overly occupied with the dreams we are chasing and with other things that the world demands from us. So we find it difficult to spend time with our family. Sa mga magulang, of course, they have to work. They have to earn to support the living of the family members. Most especially kung nag-aaral na ang mga anak, lalo tigit sa lahat kung sila pa ay magkokolehiyo. At tayo naman ng mga anak, if you are still studying, you are focusing or you are allotting more time on your studies that you don't have to communicate with your parents or with your siblings. At sa mga anak naman na nagtatrabaho na nakatulad ko, we don't have enough time for us to bond with our family members. But then you know what? The family is the most precious source of inspiration and motivation that we could have to keep us going. So the challenge is, no matter how busy we are, hello, let us spend time with our family that will help us bond and understand one another. Most especially sa mga magulang that very much busy sa kanilang trabaho. But then, of course, we would like to appreciate them, most especially lahat ng mga magulang na OFW, what do you mean by that, nagtatrabaho sa ibang lugar o sa ibang bansa, I mean, para makapag-provide sa kanilang mga pamilya. Marami pong salamat. And I believe that it's very much challenging for you to spend quality time with your with your family members, especially with your children, because of the distance. But then, my Perd of learners, how can we, right? How can we spend quality time with our family members? So the first one is we may share family stories or ask everyday simple things to encourage conversation, right? So, ibig sabihin, magkwentuhan. So, let's share family stories with one another. Pwede nating ikwento anong nangyari sa eskwelahan. Pwede nating ikwento kung anong nangyari sa trabaho. So, just for us to start a conversation or encourage conversation. The second one, set aside one-on-one chat time for everyone in the family to foster your bond. So it means you really have to allot a particular time to communicate with your family members. Most especially ngayon, can't you realize or can't you observe ang taba na lang ng mga anak kahit o bawat membro ng pamilya ay cellphone. Wala na yung communication, wala na yung kwentuhan, tawanan habang kumakain or habang nanonood. Bakit? Because we have with our hands the cell phone. So, of course, to all the parents, set some time apart exclusively for your partner. It's very important as well because you also need time to cherish one another apart from the family bonding time. So those are the 3 ways that we could spend quality time with our family members. Yes, we cannot really guarantee 100% na makakapag-spend tayo ng quality time with some of these practical steps. But then I believe kung sisimulan natin, we could really develop this what we call spending quality time with our family members, which is very important for us to have a firmer and gentler family members. The second one is maintain good communication with everyone in the family. Okay, communication is a key important or key component in any relationship. Without it, no relationship grows and matures, right? Lalo na kung sa isang pamilya, hindi kayo nag-uusap, hindi kayo nagkukwentuhan, how will you be able to strengthen your family? Good communication enables members to express their needs, their wants, and their concern to each other. And open and honest communication creates an atmosphere that allows family members to express their differences as well as love and admiration. So, how can we make the family members firmer and gentler by maintaining good communication? So, the first one is be approachable when it comes to discussions about difficult things or even the most uncomfortable conversations. I believe may part of learners, kung meron mang isang lugar at mga tao na usapan ang mga uncomfortable conversation. What do you call that? Particularly sexual education, right? Ito ay dapat itinuturo sa loob ng pamilya, right? Para hindi na ma-break pa yung curiosity natin ng ibang tao or ng ating environment, because talking about these uncomfortable conversations will help the family members to build trust with one another, that they can go to family with any issue that they may have, whether it's all about their studies, all about their crush, di ba? Pinag-uusapan din natin to. And the key is be approachable. Lalo tigit sa lahat, kung ikaw ay magulang, show to your children that you are welcoming. You are very much welcoming and you are very much warm to talk about this kind of conversation or these kinds of conversation. And of course, be ready for a spontaneous conversation with kids. That's true, lalo na kung sino dito yung mga kapatid na maliliit, right? Diba? Ang kulit nila, ang dami nilang tanong, hindi sila nauubusan ng mga tanong at pinag-uusapan. So get ready. Of course, they are part as well of the family. At kahit na mga bata pa sila, we should not exclude them with this kind of conversation. Then, be prepared to talk about important matters concerning the teenagers. And that is what I am talking about. You know what, families might truly find it difficult to discuss sex, right? Alcohol, drugs, or finances with the younger members. However, it is possible. It is through a conversation that you can address these important matters. And the last one is encourage nonverbal conversation. Through what? Simple gestures like hug, kiss, right? And a tap on your shoulder. So this is how we could make our family members firmer and gentler by maintaining good communication. And the third one, it's very important, be a role model for the family. So now the question is, parents, what your kids see you do as they grow up is what you likely see them do when they are all grown up. What do your children see modeled in your character? So anong nakikita ng mga bata sa iyo bilang magulang? And I believe kung anong nakikita ng mga bata sa kanyang mga magulang, nadadala niya ito hanggang sa kanyang paglaki. If a child grows up, di ba? Lumaki sa isang environment na nagsisigawan. Therefore, pagdating niya sa kanyang eskwelahan or the way that he or she communicates with other people, lagi itong loud. Kung lumaki ang isang bata sa isang pamilya na murahan. Of course, wag kang magulat ko ang bata na ito ay matuto din magmura. So it's very important that we serve as a role model for our family members. And basically, I believe parents, kayo po ang kauna-unahan dapat na mag-serve na role model sa inyong mga anak. At sa mga nakakatandang mga kapatid, kayo din naman ay dapat na maging role model sa inyong mga nagkakabatang kapatid. Why? Because this, I believe, is the greatest gift that we can give to one another, to every single member of our family. The fourth one is deeply nourished love. And let me share with you these verses from the Bible, particularly in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 and 25. Sabing ganon, you know what? Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. And 25, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Even the Bible speaks about nourishing love, a kind of love that nourishes. What do you mean by that? A love that supports someone's dreams, a love that supports someone's admirations, and specifically, sinasabi dito that for you to nourish that kind of love, sa lahat ng mga babaeng asawa, you have to submit to your husbands. At sa lahat ng mga lalaking asawa, you also have to love your wives with all yourself, just as how Christ loved the church. So by nourishing this kind of love, I believe that we could show our care and we could share our care with one another by being a thoughtful member of the family. We could also show the value of someone or of the family member that we are with inside our family. And of course, when we say nourishing love, no, we are talking about stopping, looking, listening, and studying that special person. If you have really that nourishing love, hihinto ka muna. Titingnan mo, makikinig ka at pag-aaralan mo kung ano man yung pangangailangan, anong klase ng tao, itong taong mahal mo in your family, right? And of course, if we have verses for husbands and wives or for our parents, we also have this verse to all the children in Ephesians 6 chapter verse 1. And it tells us, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. So children, you also have to nourish your love for your parents by showing respect and obedience towards your father and your mother. And it is a commandment with an invaluable promise. At alam nyo ano sabi sa Bible? Ang lahat daw ng mga anak na nag-o-honor ng kanilang mga magulang at sumusunod sa kanila ay hahaba ang buhay. So I believe if we will cultivate that kind of love, if we will nourish that kind of love, we could develop family members who are firmer and gentler with one another. Next, cultivate an encouraging love. Hello! For kids, and cultivate an encouraging environment for kids. What do we mean by that? We have to cultivate words that encourage each member of the family, most especially the children. And how are we going to do that? Use kind and good words that will build courage in them, that will motivate them to be better people and to be the best that they can be. You know what? Kung bata pa lang o sa murang edad pa lang ng isang bata, naririnig na niya mula sa miyembro na siya ay walang patutunguhan, ang mga pangarap niya ay hindi maaabot, maaaring lumaki ang bata na ito na mahina ang kalooban. But then, of course, as family members, we have to use kind and good words that will encourage and motivate every single member of our family to becoming a better and achiever person. Invest more energy, right, in praising them for being successful than in criticizing and castigating them for falling short of our expectations. Hindi natin naiiwasan na ma-disappoint tayo sa family member natin, but then instead of criticizing and castigating them, let's just look at the positive sides of every situation. Let us use our energy to praise them. And of course, treat children with the encouragement that you would want them to live their life with. So, lagi encourage ang bawat isa. Lagi nating i-motivate ang bawat isa so that no matter what the interest of each family member, skill level, or dreams, they will never be shut down. And the last one, turn conflict a pathway to intimacy. At madalas, laging nating nami-misinterpret yung conflict. Laging itong isang negatibo o laging negatibo ang pagtingin natin. But then, if we could look at another side of it. We can see it as a potential, right? Conflict is the process we go through and the price that we pay for intimacy. Sa lahat ng mga problema, sa lahat ng mga challenges na kinakaharap ng isang pamilya, mas nade-develop ang intimacy at mas nade-develop ang relasyon nito. Most especially if you are all one in overcoming that certain conflict. So how are we going to do that? Acknowledge the conflict. Kailangan pag-usapan anumang problema, anumang challenge ng pamilya. Determine the possible solutions to the conflict. Pag-isipan natin, how can we overcome this? How can we overcome this certain conflict in the family? And the last one, each member of the family should commit themselves to solve this conflict. So there you go, my part of learners. Those are the practical steps on how we could make our family members firmer and gentler. And I believe sa pamamagitan ng 6 na bagay ni ito, we could look for this what we call family goals na tinatawag natin. So, bawat pamilya tama ay may goal, right? So, it's very important na maging goal natin sa ating pamilya to be firmer and gentler with one another. Na tayo ay mayroong strong relationships, kaharapin, we will overcome every single challenge, every single conflict as one, as a strong and positive family. So with that, let me give you the assessment for this week's online session. And for our first assessment, my part of learners, I have here a sample of family genogram, and I want you to analyze or describe the family relationships that we have right here. And this is the Burgos family genogram. And you have this activity on in your module, right? So i-analyze natin and allow tutor A to help you to describe or analyze these family relationships that we have right here. So basically, we have Joel Burgos and Lita Burgos that if we can see, they are what? Husband and wife. And their marriage has blessed with 2 children, okay, who are Jaime Burgos and Joseph Burgos. So, parehas na lalaki, right? Because we have here square symbols. And when we say square symbols, square symbol, it refers to the male member of the family. So, at your side, or at your right, I mean, who is Joseph Burgos. So he is in a long-distance relationship with Lita Madrigal. Nako, in a relationship pala si Joseph, okay? And the name of the person whom he's with in a relationship is Lita Madrigal. All right. So what about you, my part of learners? How can you describe, no, the Burgos family genogram that you have here on your screen? If you have any other answer, pwede natin itong i-comment or sa ating comment section. At mamaya, basahin ni Tutor A. And for another assessment, my part of learners, let's have here this what we call your family goal. So it means that you're going to write a plan on how you could make the family members firmer and gentler by following this simple illustration. Okay, so we have right here 4 columns, right, which refer to how the family members involved, the frequency, and then the expected results. So how are you going to complete this table? So for the first column, which refers to how, this column is for the practical steps for friendships that we talked about. And those are spend quality time, maintain good communication, right? Establish encouraging environment for kids, deeply nourish love. What else? Etc. So in the first column, you are going to list down those practical steps. And let's move to the second column, which refers to family members involved. So who do you think among the family members should embody or fulfill these practical steps. And the frequency, of course, refers to how many times you plan to practice those stated practical steps. And for the expected results, of course, you also have to set the expected result you are looking forward for each step. And we have here the example. So, for example, spend quality time. Who are the family members involved? Of course, lahat ng family member. And how often do you plan to do spending quality time? Pwedeng once or twice a month, depende sa case ng inyong family. And what are the expected results that you are looking forward to? Go for a movie, pwede yan. Pwedeng movie marathon or pwedeng bonding over cooking. This simple family goal made part of learners will help you to achieve a firmer and gentler family members. You may also share it with your family members, and together you can work to achieve your goal of firmer and gentler family relationships. So with that, my part of learners, as we end our online tutorial this afternoon, let me give you our hashtag a shout out, which is that tells us families are like branches on a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. To all of the young people, let us give importance, let us show value to our family ancestry by respecting, honoring, and obeying the elders, most especially our grandparents. And if you are still blessed and you live with grandparents, that is so beautiful. But then I believe wherever we are, wherever we go, whatever we do in life, we should always remember our family, our roots that will remain as one until the end of time.